Are you sick of the international break yet? Because we have a very special trip down to London where we always famously win. Ready for Saturday afternoon. Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock podcast. We talk about Leeds United. That's what we do, amongst various other topics, of which Big Mac, the urban prophet, is most famous for. So it's a big hello to Big Mac.
Hello, good evening. How are we?
And to cheer us all up, because he is the Prince of Darkness, is the happiest of clappers, Barney.
All right, all right. How are we doing, lads?
Very good, thank you, Barnes. And I am Adonis. So we'll dive straight into it, as that's what they say on YouTube. I mean, they could just start talking about it, but whatever they're going to talk about. But instead of diving straight into it, they say the words, "Let's just dive straight into it." Anyway, so we'll do that. Everybody good? Everybody okay? You all right, Barnes?
I'm ready to dive in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Barney's got an extremely, considering the weather outside, a sunshiny T-shirt on there, mate.
It's my new favourite band, actually.
Oh, right, it's a band thing. What is
Who
it?
are they? What are they?
Risky and the Ridicule. Absolutely awesome band live. They're a ska punk band.
Risky or risque?
Risky and the Ridicule.
Right. Okay. Sounds like a good night out, at least.
Don't send me any fucking links to the music, mate. It's the one thing me and you don't agree on. In fact, I'm a big ska fan, as you know, but yeah, sometimes you send me stuff, I think I'm questioning whether I am a big ska fan. But it's a nice colour anyway, very summery, and look like being tangoed.
Yes, it's appropriately happy and clappy.
Yes.
Rightio. So yes, hope your international break has gone well. I hope you enjoyed England versus Andorra and whatever international games that you've been watching.
Were they playing?
Were they? I don't know. Leeds injuries then.
Not against Andorra, they were. They were absolutely shocking. The Serbia game was quite good.
Serbia was good. Yeah.
Not a big fan of Serbia because they have the belief that they're extremely racist and not very nice people, particularly the football fans. So to give them a thrashing in their own backyard, excellent. Yeah, good.
I did see a small child who was a mascot giving a far right hand signal during the anthems.
Wow.
Nice. Not on, yeah. And then there was a small child that had to be extricated from the stand when loads of trouble kicked off as well. So yeah, great. Hopefully it'll be the same child.
So to be fair to them, it did spice the international breakup a little bit. We have a comment on YouTube. Dennis1997 LUFC. Hello, Dennis. A up, A law. We got two options against Fulham: win or win. Well, this is when we need stats to break out the stats on when the last time we won. I think we got our socks off, wasn't it?
Well, we know this. We know the answer to this question.
Right.
I'm usually good at stuff like this. Dates 2021 when we went to Fulham and we had our socks off. If you win in London, me, you, and the warden of the North. That was a good podcast. If I remember rightly, it was kind of like, was it a transient evening, like a Tuesday evening or something?
Could be.
Was it in the cup as well?
No, it was in the league.
The league game. Right.
Yeah, definitely league. Yeah,
and I think we won 2-1, and I'm pretty sure that I was drinking when I shouldn't have been. It was like a Tuesday or Wednesday night or something, and I was quite pissed. And then we were doing a podcast after, and we did socks off if you won in London, and Ewan Metcalf, he's getting divorced, and my wife in the day looked to the office door because I was being really loud and obnoxious. So yeah, that was memorable for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, we did celebrate that quite profusely, I'd say. Almost like a sort of cup final victory, something like that. But I mean, we hadn't won in London for a long, long time, and it's also been another long while as well. Right, let's talk about Leeds injuries first up then. So we'll get on to what Ewan's described as Big Soft Bastards FC in the group chat in a second. But Lucas Perry is, I think, the biggest news of all. So 2 games. We're going to be without our new Brazilian goalkeeper. Faith in Carl Darlow. I'm going to ask Barnes for that because he's going to give us the positivity, isn't he? Come on, Bards. Are you always believing?
Yeah, because we've got a decent defence. Make sure the ball don't go into the net. We've got the defence. Oh, that sounds really simple football, that, doesn't it?
Make sure
the ball doesn't go into the net. This is the insight that people listen to us for.
I don't know why we bother paying for like Farker. You could just go in and do it, Barney. Amazing.
No, but I think we've got a decent defence there to not get the ball near the goal. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Know,
oh well. New job actually working, eh?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Oh God.
Shock to his system working for a living.
And maybe Carl Darlow's probably better at distribution at the moment compared to Perry. So
100%.
Yeah, I think. I like Darlow. Mark, your thoughts on Lucas Perry injured?
Not being massively impressed with him so far, if I'm honest. So, yeah, of course it's disappointing because we've took a risk on so many sort of injury-prone players, and he's probably the one that we didn't think was going to have injury-prone and would probably get some consistency in the goal. And there you go, a few games in, he's injured. But I don't think it'll be a bad thing in regards. I've not been impressed. His distribution's poor. And maybe just that'll give the defence a little bit more confidence, something you're used to, and give Perry a chance to just sort of reflect and sit back and watch from the stands or whatever, and just come back better and stronger, hopefully. Because I've got faith in Darlow. As long as you don't bring Melier on, I'm all right. I think. So I'm okay with it. Disappointing for the reasons I've mentioned, but yeah, I'm good with Darlow coming back in anyway.
Yeah, I mean Perry, big lad, built like a man mountain, very solid, and I feel reassured. He's made some really good saves so far. It's just his distribution.
Yeah, it's just I think he's being asked to play differently to what he'll have been used to. That they're going very long, so he's looking for that long pass rather than like if you look Darlow last year. Even Melier, played really well short to Bogle and to Struijk and to, playing it round the back first. We're obviously not going for that. That's what Southampton tried to do and suffered because of it. So, I think it's probably a different way of playing for him as well in his defence. I think the other thing is he has come and taken quite a lot of crosses, bar Arsenal. He's sort of definitely safer with his hands coming out and taking stuff. So I don't want to be too critical. I just think the distribution's slightly worrying. And again, probably Arsenal, I thought there was a couple he could have done better with. So that's what our squad's for, isn't it? We're going to need them throughout the season, sadly sooner than we might have imagined at goalkeeper, but it is what it is.
Barnes?
I think with Perry, the first time I saw him was at the Everton game, and when you got a keeper that just like sort of prowls his sort of box, like a real confidence about himself, and I was really impressed with that. Where you see Melier, where he just like seems to shy away a little bit. And Carl Darlow's got that presence in the box as well. So I think you need that reassurance at the back when you've got a keeper that's going to bollock you if you make a mistake, and he's going to shout at you when you need to be in a certain position. So you can see that from Perry and from Darlow. I think
he'd give you a good hug as well, though, when you needed it too.
I'd like a good hug. Who doesn't like a good hug? I love a good hug. I do.
We always have a good bear hug at the Peacock.
Actually, Smarty does give a good hug. Actually,
that's Smarty in the comments saying, "Go on, Barney," with a strong symbol, which is a flexing bicep. Maybe he's asking you to flex your biceps.
Which what the wanky arm or the other one?
Yeah, definitely the wanky one. That's the one with the muscles in it.
Yeah,
it's like the Rock.
Evening, lads, says Paul Hornboy. Good evening, Paul. So a few more injuries to tell you about then.
That podcast over? We've done this, are we done, yeah?
So Lucas Metcher has hurt his toe.
Oh, bloody heck.
Missed out on training yesterday. And Piru has got a bruise on his calf.
A bruise.
The jeans are too tight. I told you.
Did Gary Lineker have to retire because of a toe injury?
TV presenter of the year, Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you need your toes for football. Let's be honest. There you go. There's some more insight for you.
Brilliant. Wow, I tell you what. Why would anybody watch, read The Athletic or watch Match of the Day or Sky Sports News? 2 hours before a game, they're analysing stuff. You can just go on to Barney, 10 minutes, boom. Don't let the ball go in the goal and leave your toes for football. Mate. Cheers, Barney.
Especially your big one, because that's where you get the real power.
The most important of the toes. Well, only when you toe bung it. Technically, you don't use your toes for football. It's almost the rest of your foot, minus the toes, if I'm being honest.
Maybe that's why he's got his injury then.
Yeah, exactly. I played a long time and don't remember using my toes very often.
Well, yeah. This is the insight, isn't it? This is the insight. So
Met shirt, no shock. He injured himself kicking a football. I mean, fucking hell. We could have predicted this when we bought him. And I told you already that many people in the South Stand describe Pirou as looking like he plays in jeans. So I reckon his injury is from playing in the slim fit replay jeans that are too tight.
Quite impressive quads, Pirou. Not quite as impressive as Strauch's, though. But yeah.
Yeah, Strauch's got good legs. I think he shaves his legs as well.
Yeah.
If you look at his Instagram.
Fucking hell, you two are as bad as each other. You definitely tugged each other off. Not tugged each other off. You've definitely both took one out over strike. I'm telling you now, 100%.
Oh dear.
Trust me.
There is some good news. You want some good news?
Please.
Ethan Ampadu could return, and Altanaka could be back as well. Both have been back in team training. Ampadu's had a little bit more time. He's a bit more ahead of schedule, but it's touch and go, a bit like some of those comments from Ewan.
Yeah. Good. Listen, Ampadu's huge, I think, for us. You know what I mean? I'd love to see him back. Love that you. So, want him back as quickly as possible. Tanaka, I'd probably leave it a bit longer. It feels like he's probably not ready to come back, but we've got enough in midfield. Just get Gruev out of there and the rest will sort itself out, really.
Leadership, Ampadu.
Yeah, massive leader. And not just, vocally and kind of how he plays the game, but how he communicates with the rest of the team, organisation, understanding and link with obviously Rodon as well. But I just think he's got that bit of gamesmanship in him as well, which I really like. So, the kind of way he bullied and played with, toyed with Dewsbury Hall and stuff like that. I love all that, me. So, yeah, I love all like that, me. To go all Neil Warnock on you. And, good. He's a big miss and I'm glad to have him back.
Right, a few of your comments then. Top Banana says, evening all. A-Law, M-O-T. Good evening, Top Banana. Johnny Brown, I love my cuddles off Barney. It's all I look forward to. There we go.
We can see each other as well.
Fucking hell.
Bit mean. Paul Homboy, we've been together a few weeks now. What are you hoping for against Fulham?
I win, obviously. That's what I'm hoping for. What are you asking? What I'm hoping for? What I'm anticipating? Which one?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's one of those teams where they're not going to be at the bottom, so it's a mid-table team. It's not a team where it's like Arsenal, where you're expecting we're going to get battered here. So it's going to be interesting how we're going to compete against a team like Fulham, who like to play really good football. It's in London as well, which it just seems to be our banana skin for some reason. But it'd be really interesting to see that. I hope that Farke has realised from the Arsenal game and in an away game, you need to play your style of football a little bit differently compared to how we play at home. So I hope he's learnt some lessons at the Arsenal game. But the thing is that he's not had a team there, has he, to do any sort of training, because a lot of them being on international duties as well. So he usually says by Friday he's got most of the team back to talk about tactics and things like that. I just hope that we don't. There's I think some players on the away game against Arsenal sort of like stood back a little bit, and thought, "Oh, we're playing in the Premier League," rather than actually, we need to put our heads together and not be like in awe of playing against certain players. So I just hope we actually show up and give ourselves a good account.
Yeah, agreed. I think that back in the old days, 60s, 70s, when we had a team of like Irish, Scottish, kind of northern footballers, we'd relish going down to London and sticking it up the soft southern chandelier. It seems like now everything's become so like cosmopolitan, and we've all got these international players. They don't really understand that. So we go down there, and you think it'd be a chance to go down and really give it a good account and prove that northern grit and toughness. And often we fall so short, and it's really disappointing. But again, football's changed a lot from them days. I think Fulham probably over punched above their weight last year, in regard to where they finished and some of the results they got. I'd probably expect them to drop a little bit from those performance levels and where they finished last year, but I still think they're possibly going to finish above us, and so it's a good test. A test that, unlike Arsenal's, not like unsurmountable. We could definitely get a result. So fingers crossed, man, that we turn up and give it a good go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the sort of Marco Silva footballing tactics plays off against Daniel Farke. And like you say, Barney, hopefully he's learnt a few things from Arsenal, and the team have, because especially the confidence levels. I think when they stepped out onto that Emirates pitch, they were a little bit overawed and they looked a little bit defeated before the kickoff. So I hope they've got some fire in the bellies, like Ewan said. Just a few more of your comments, and then we'll get on to the proper Leeds v Fulham preview in a second. Jane, so that's my mum, if anybody doesn't know, a long-time listener, the longest time. I believe that was a comment about Strauch shaving his legs.
Oh yeah, because cyclists do that, don't they, as well?
I hope it wasn't about the tugging people off. Comment. Less wind resistance, she says. Top Banana, tickle those likes for the lads. That would be fantastic. And a big hello to 224 people watching on Twitter. And Evening Gents says Derek Moore.
Yes, Derek.
Good evening, Derek. Good to see you again. So Derek and Paul again. They've almost been watching as long as my mum. Socios. Leeds have announced the Leeds United fan token again. So I'm just wondering what we think about this brilliant concept. Maka, do you want to talk about?
Please don't come to me. Honestly, I mean, I'm not being funny. Is there a worse time to do it? I mean, other than the day after we get relegated, fucking hell, after they underspend in the transfer window, promise a lot, don't deliver. They bring out NFTs and oh my god, no, please, I can't comment. I don't understand the whole concept of it. I think it's a big fucking con, and I think a club like Leeds United should be better than that. So that's my opinion. Yeah, it can get in the fucking sea.
Pretty definitive. Barney, is there anything positive to say about LUFC fan tokens, socios, and the Chili's crypto coin?
No, I think it's absolutely one of the parts of modern football I absolutely hate. I think the thing is, like the football, like Premier League, UEFA, or whoever want to start getting rid of gambling companies because it's apparently not good for people's mental health, and the people are getting into debt. Then all of a sudden this comes in, which is basically just gambling, which is exactly the same. So I think, I mean, someone shared something on Twitter when it came out, and some people have bought these shares and they've absolutely tanked. And yeah, shares will tank, but something like this does not sit right with me. I think it's dodgy. I think it's sort of tugging on people's heartstrings because I support Leeds United. I'm going to put some sort of just going to gamble on my team, but I don't think it's right. I think it's, I mean, was it probably 2 or 3 years ago? Some MPs actually did it go to Parliament where they said we need to look at this, and it's not even regulated either. which it makes it even more a little bit worrying. And where Socios is based, it's in a country where you don't pay tax as well. So
shock horror. Is
says
it
a
run
lot,
by a
doesn't
guy? Is it run by a guy called Mr. Kenneth Bates by any chance? Because it sounds like the kind of shit he'd be involved with.
David Hay.
Exactly.
There's no evidence, just for the record, that either of those people are involved in Socios. And you know who else shouldn't be involved in Socios? That's right, you. Probably you shouldn't do it. So please don't lose a lot of money on unregulated crypto assets disguised as fan engagement, because it's not really anything to do with Leeds United, and it's lost all of its value, which you can look up LUFC token value over time. Just Google that and just have a look. Just inform yourself before you give over a bunch of money to
exactly. Do a bit of research before you invest all your money in something that's got a Leeds badge on it. Fucking hell, it's disgraceful. I mean, to be fair, I don't understand the concept, and it's not anything I would ever dip into. But football clubs, and it's not just Leeds; it's an illness of, and Barney's described it eloquently enough. You know, of all modern football clubs, that they just think, "Oh, we'll stick a badge on something, and everybody's going to go for it," and you know, you're almost being disloyal if you don't. Just fuck off. You know. Get the playing team right. Make it exciting to watch. You know, be part of this kind of Leeds United family. Stop doing these stupid things, because they just alienate you from people who've got any intelligence in the fan base. And you just think, wow, what a complete dog shit thing to do, man. Suddenly announcing that the week after they've not spent all the money that they could on a playing squad that could keep us in the top division. So. Not great timing, not great concept. Yeah, research people before you spend any money on stuff like that, man, because it's generally not great.
Absolutely. Oh, my mum says so. Jane Store comment, "Hello, boys," and she does that. You know that little smiley emoji with the hearts flying everywhere.
Kiss. Yeah.
Yes, it was about Strauch, so she's glad to be clarified. Strauch, not yet. Anything else? Dennis, 1997 LUFC. Would you guys like to sign Niklas Seeveld, the Austrian central defensive midfielder, and Maximilian Bayer from Borussia Dortmund, who's a striker, in January? Probably too early to ask, but yeah. Well, the transfer window has closed, Dennis. So we can stop talking about transfer, but we could talk about these ones. Personally, I don't think we need any more central defensive midfielders, but the season's early, and we did just have two of them have exactly the same injury within a few days, so you never know. And Maximilian Bayer was the subject of I believe a £45 million bid, something like that, from Brentford. I think he might be a little bit out of our price range, but we have had news this week. There was a leak of a presentation to Leeds United investors by the 49ers, and they were basically saying that they want to spend £100 million every summer transfer window for the next 3 summers. So I think if you look back at the window that we've had, they've spent £100 million essentially on defenders and midfielders and a left back. So I think next summer, the next summer they'd have to buy a number 10, you would have thought, and a number 9, you'd hope. So I think it's potentially something that they might explore next summer.
I can't see us bringing it anybody, or certainly not a lot in January. I think Fark has almost admitted that, the premium on players like that, he'll go up another 10 million in January. So I think that it's just not sensible business, and he's probably right on that. But it's the fact that you don't get it done in the summer leaves you open. And you look at people like we brought Tanaka, we brought Rafinha in, sort of almost to respond to kind of injuries and to cover, and they turned out to be amazing purchases and great players. So there's definitely some stuff can be done. I look at the free transfer market at the minute and think there's definitely some players in there that would improve us experience-wise, whether they fit culturally into the mantra of the kind of way the club's going and the team spirit, I don't know, but there's definitely some players in there that I would entertain a conversation around, yeah. because it ultimately, probably going to come on to Fulham. But my question is, who plays up front now then? So if Pirlo's injured, if Metch's injured, who's striker on Saturday?
It's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, isn't it? Or is he?
They're saying he's still working on his fitness. So are they going to throw him in from the start?
Yeah, Harry Gray, maybe.
Well, there you go then. Bless him.
Could be like an Alan Smith, Davey, could it, for Harry Gray?
I tell you what.
Fingers crossed.
They'll be on the pitch. Yes, good questions. Chelsea have been charged with 74 breaches.
Oh dear. Half the amount that Man City got charged with, them still haven't faced one fucking real charge. In fact, haven't they reached some agreement with the Premier League about getting off with some stuff? Yeah, great. Wow. Just 74. I'm shocked.
Only 74, yeah. So it's Man City was 115, as you've alluded to. No points deductions yet, and in fact, they've agreed some amelioration with the sponsorship deals, which I assume that's all to do with the shirt sponsor and the stadium sponsor. Overinflated evaluations to give them money for the transfer kitty.
It's amazing, isn't it? Let's get on that vibe. You know what I mean? I'm all for cheating. Let's do it. Yeah, if it gets you squads like Chelsea's and Man City's, then let's just get involved.
Well, Newcastle Falcons rugby team have just changed their name to Newcastle Red Bulls. They've changed the logo to Newcastle Red Bull, but their Twitter handle remains Falcons Newcastle. They are owned by the 49ers, so there's another.
Whoever does their social media will be getting sacked soon. He'll be on his way out. Bless him.
So there's always that opportunity. There's always that option. The Red Bull Arena.
Genuinely though, would you take that? Would you, if that could guarantee you staying in the Premier League for the next 20, 30 years and playing European football, 25 out of that, would you take it? Would you sell your soul to the devil to?
You've
success?
Got that gleam in your eye.
I mean, for me,
it's a valid question.
That's burning flames.
If you're going to change Ellen Road to Red Bull Arena, everyone's still going to call it Ellen Road, aren't they? Let's be honest. So, and sometimes modern football is not very nice. Let's be honest. And if you really want to compete up there, you're going to have to sleep with the devil at some points where you don't want to, but it might actually be a good shag, and you might actually enjoy it. So, crack on.
It's worked for me a few times, Barney. To be fair.
Let's be honest. We've all thought, I'm not going to do it, and then you do it, and you think, actually, it's really good. This.
I hate myself. I fucking hate myself. I'm going home for a shower, but that was brilliant.
And you go back for more, don't you? So if it's like Leeds playing in European football, you don't quite like it, but you do like it, really.
Like a moth to the flame. Like a moth to the flame.
It's definitely not as simple as people make it out to be. Like, I think there is like purists, and I think I'd probably want to be part of the Phoenix club, AFC Leeds or whatever it would turn out to be. And don't forget, we are a Phoenix club of Leeds City anyway. Yeah. But there is this devil on my shoulder who's like, everybody would hate us even more.
Yeah, right on, brother. That's exactly the mentality. I can't, I'm not. I guess I have been a traditionalist, and I think I'm probably moving away from that now. That football's not the same. The old "you can't halt progress" mentality says that. Bloody hell! What was that? It's got a trombone. Fucking hell! Roy Castle. Roy Castle.
That was an E flat.
I thought I muted it then. Sorry.
Yeah, E flat. Yeah, thanks for that. Anyway, so I just think it's a question that's worth asking, and I'd love to know what the broader consensus was of Leeds fans of. Would you go down that route if it meant it guaranteed the spend. Barney's right. We were Leeds City a long time ago, clearly 100 years ago, 100 years plus, whatever. We had a red kit in the 60s, 70s, early 70s, 60s, whatever. We had a red kit. So time moves on. Would people still call it Ellen Road? Yeah, probably. Would it matter what they called the stadium? It's like when was it Newcastle? Was it the Sports Direct Arena? Nobody called it that. That's come and gone and been forgotten about. Whereas St James's hasn't. Kits shit anyway. Most of our kit designs are awful. So if they had a burgundy red kit, would it matter? No. And I just think, I want my kids to experience the things I've experienced, winning leagues and playing in the Champions League, and so I don't think my kids would care. That's what I'm starting to gravitate to now. Is I've got 16, 14-year-old boys, and if you said to them, it's called Red Bull Leeds, and we play at the Red Bull Arena, or Ellen Road, powered by Red Bull, or whatever arena, would they give a shit? Probably not. If they were signing the likes of Neymar or the future Neymars or whatever, Rafinha came back. No, they wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say, if we were signing, Desiree Douay and a bunch of people, I mean, it would make that would be the sugar that would start to make the bitter, awful medicine start to taste a little better, wouldn't it?
100%.
Yeah, but yeah, generally, if we could avoid it, that'd be if we could just win things again, without having to sell our soul, that would be great. Can you just make that happen, please, 49ers? Parag, what are you doing? Show some ambition.
It's that if it's the how do you make that happen? And if they're on about spending 100 million, for the next three
each summer,
each summer, is that enough? You're talking about in two summers' time, what will 100 million pounds get you?
Well, this is my main argument: is why don't you break the rules? This is why I'm bringing up Chelsea.
100%. I'm all for that.
The thing is, I mean, Chelsea are breaking the rules.
I've done it for 54 years.
Cheat.
Let's break the rules. Cheat.
Discovered the path to winning is cheat. Just cheat.
There's the goal. These are the steps to get in there. That's the shortcut. Cheat.
I mean, Chelsea did it, didn't they? Man City have done it, haven't they?
Everybody's done it.
Newcastle's doing it, aren't they?
Yeah, Chelsea, Villa, Forest. Virtually every team. Man United. Every team that's up there has done it. It's Tottenham, Arsenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Barnes, what do you think about cheating?
Being taking away let's just sleep with the devil kind of opinion. I also think I'd want to see a team actually win something, win the league like Leicester did properly, rather than we'll do that. That's no one's gonna see where that money's gone, but we're all right with that. But then teams will cheat because Chelsea, there's not going to be any sporting sanctions on them. Apparently, they're going to get fined 8 million. They'll probably find that in the back of the sofa. 8 million. What is that going to do to a team that's worth billions already? 8 million quid slap on the wrist. No one's going to learn from that. And I'm firm. If you're gonna set rules up, there needs to be some proper sanctions to say this is what's going to happen. But 8 million, nothing, absolutely nothing. Doesn't mean out.
Well, exactly. That's kind of more the point, isn't it? It's the rules. There are rules, but the justice isn't being applied. So there is no justice. There's just relegation if you follow the rules, and European football if you just completely ignore them. And if you really, really ignore them, then you don't even get a points deduction, and you win a bunch of European trophies.
We used to say about government contracts that you get too big to fail. Right. So the award contracts to huge organisations who are often questionable, but you cannot punish them or kind of remove any kind of contractual award because they're too big to. If you did, the whole of the infrastructure of that department, whether it be prisons or welfare, whatever, would collapse. And it's the same with football. That you can't see a world where people stand up and go, actually, yeah, Man City are going to get a 40-point, 50, 60-point deduction and will be or relegated like Rangers were to the non-league and have to come. There isn't a world where that happens, is there? Because it'll damage the brand. The people that watch it, who glory fans, many of them who watch Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, won't watch anymore. So I think it's not going to happen. And you look at Forest. I mean, Forest did it 2 seasons on the bounce and got fined like 2. I mean, the problem is we do exactly the same as Forest and get a 15-point deduction. They'd definitely come down on Leeds because they've done
Correct.
it.
That was going to be my next point. Is like, if there was ever going to be a club who they were going to enforce this stuff on, it's definitely 100% going to definitely be us. A few of your comments then. Dennis, 1997, LUFC, what a name. Way too early to ask about the. If you remember, he asked about the January window and Seeveld and Bayer. Way too early to ask, but I do appreciate reading my comments. Means a lot. Thank you guys. In my opinion, Seeveld and Bayer would be perfect for us. Both of them speak German. I mean, yeah. I mean, while we're talking about mass amounts of money, then we can sort of fantasize about fantasy football and build a sort of incredible team, can't we? Jane Stork, got to go now and get my colour washed off the hair. That is, not getting a fake tan.
You part-timer, Jane. I thought better of you, love.
And Paul Homeboy, shag analogy from Barney is why I watch you lot. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Love. And he just puts love. And there's not enough love in the world, is there? So that's
love, Paul. Love back to you, mate. It's all love. It's all love. It is
all love. And a very warm hello and lots of love to the 361 people who are watching on Twitter. Very, very joyous for us to have you with us.
To be fair, it's shit weather outside. They've got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah. Summer's over.
One show's on soon.
The one show?
The one show. I like the one show.
Do you?
Yeah, I like Alex Jones. Something about
Why does that not surprise me? You don't watch the one show. You watch Alex Jones, basically.
I like Alex Jones. But I like the one show as well.
Is Katie in that room with you, by the way?
No, she's gone to the gym.
I bet she has, yeah. I thought you were talking a bit freely.
Is that what she's told you?
Yeah, well. Don't know what you do, but hey.
Oh, good. Sorry. I can't help myself. Right. So we've touched on it a little bit. So Farke today in the press conference was asked about the disappointing end to the transfer window. He said, "I don't feel sorry for myself. You won't hear a bad word from me after a transfer window is closed."
Oh, that was nearly a fucking impression there.
It was nearly an impression. I'm fully focused on the next game.
What was that? Was he Jamaican as well?
Good. Yeah,
we got a Jamaican.
Let's not analyse it too.
Forecast on the job in hand, my friend.
Not negotiable.
Oh, we're going back in time here. Not negotiable. Listen, my position here is...
One of our big players should go for a big transfer fee. We didn't even discuss this.
Oh dear.
It's awful.
Do your German impression again. Okay now.
Once the situation is done, I adapt to reality.
That's quite good, actually.
Yeah.
That was quite
good. Danke, Barney.
Oh, yeah, flicken meinen Winkel.
Oh, God. Awful. Right, so did we address it last time? I can't remember if we addressed it. I think we did, didn't we?
Your terrible accents. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we've done it loads.
Oh, God. Well, that's what he said anyway. So he doesn't feel sorry for himself. He won't hear a bad word from you won't hear a bad word from him after the transfer window is closed. And once the situation's done, he will adapt to the reality. And there's not one thought that is in his mind to be either disappointed or down. And he's fully focused on the Fulham game. That's what you want to hear from your manager, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. Listen, you wouldn't expect him to say anything different, would you? That's he won't complain about the cards he's been dealt until he gets sacked, and then he'll moan about the fact he wasn't backed in the transfer market like he did about Norwich. I've got a lot of time for Farker. I can't criticise him. I know people have their criticisms of his tactics and his substitutions.
They want him out.
Who does?
Loads of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as Nuno got sacked, there were lots and lots of people saying that we should. So a lot of people want us to. Is Mourinho still available?
Yeah, we won't pay his wages, man. They're tight as fuck out there for him. They've already proven that. I think the thing about Nuno was we should have got Nuno when we sacked Marsh. So he was available at that time after the Tottenham job, I believe. And I remember we had this discussion at the time, and we went for Gracia, and he was available. And I guarantee, look back, I said we should have got him because I thought he was a good manager at Wolves. I thought he, like a lot of managers, he got found out at Tottenham, but that's not kind of unusual that happens. So I just think he's got a lot about him. I like the way he comes across. I think he seems to deal well with players. His tactics fit us perfectly, really. So I think that ship's kind of sailed for now. It'd be a bit cruel to get rid of Farker, wouldn't it, at the moment?
I think so, yes. Right, so let's move on to the Fulham preview then. Fulham have lost just one of their 5 home Premier League matches against Leeds United. They've won 3 and drawn 1, going down 2-1 in 2020-2021 under Scott Parker. That was the one. The last 4 Premier League meetings between Fulham and Leeds have produced 18 goals, with both sides finding the net in each match. Leeds won both games in 2020-2021, while Fulham completed a double in 2022-2023. Jesus, they're hard.
Work that.
So many 20s. Fulham have failed to win in each of the last 4 Premier League games. Drawn 2, lost 2. They've started the season with 2 1-1 draws. Brighton and Manchester United. And then they lost 2-0 to Chelsea in a controversial game. How are we feeling? Are we feeling good though? Are we feeling optimistic? Are you feeling nervous? What's your predictions and why? Barney.
I think it's too early to say feeling nervous for games so far in the start of the season. It's really hard to predict these sort of games when you're back in the Premier League. Say this if we're back in the Championship, you sort of say, right, yeah, we're going to get points there. We're going to do this or do that. I really don't know where we're going to be against Fulham with 2 strikers down. We're going to have a different keeper as well. I hope Calvert-Lewin starts, and he just needs that one chance, and hopefully he'll score, and it could be a different story at the end of the weekend. But I'm gonna say I think we won't lose, but I don't know if we're gonna win.
Again, wonderful insight.
Purely because I don't think what's happened in the transfer window, we don't have that attacking threat.
So it's good if you don't concede goals. To play football, you need toes.
Yes.
And we may lose or we may win.
No, I said we won't lose, but I don't think we'll win.
Even better.
Right, so it's a draw. You think it's going to be a draw?
A draw. It's going to be a draw. But personally, I don't think we've got enough up front or attacking-wise to hurt teams, especially teams like Fulham, who are going to be mid-table, and you're hoping that you could get a few points here or there against teams like Fulham. And I don't think we've got that sort of je ne sais quoi. Is that the right thing to say?
Oh my God, culture.
Oh, wow. I've been thinking about that word all week to say it on the pod today.
Wow.
I don't think we've got that je ne sais quoi to do something.
For all the French viewers.
To do something special up front. I don't think we've got that quality that worries me against teams like Fulham.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Mons 2.
Mons 2, Rodney. Mons 2.
1-1 then. Is that it? 2-2? 1-1? 0-0?
Well, no, in my insight, it's going to be 4-0 Leeds, isn't it?
Come on, Barnes.
Unlikely.
This is the realistic predictions. And please put your realistic predictions in the comments and let us know what you think the score will be. So we did have a sort of running score line, didn't we? Was it 1-1, 0-0? Was that
What was this for?
Arsenal?
Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, 1-1, 0-0, and I said we'd win 2-1.
Yeah,
and we lost 4-0.
Barney said 0-0. We wouldn't concede.
We wouldn't get battered.
Yeah, wouldn't get battered. Brilliant.
I said we'd get a draw because they were quite firing. So I think I said 1 each. Yeah. If we'd got the penalty, we should have got and not conceded that goal in half time. I think that was on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right. So let's torture ourselves again. Barnes.
What, my prediction?
0-0, 1-1, 2-2. I mean, you've said that we're not going to lose or win.
So 1-all. Going to go 1-all.
1-1.
Match abandoned.
Yeah.
Match abandoned. Yeah. Maka, prediction and thoughts.
Thoughts are London's never a happy hunting ground for us. It's probably really early in the season, like Barney says, to be able to be confident about any kind of predictions. Listen, I'm now conscious that the kind of predictions are getting recorded. So I'm now starting to think about voting with my heart. Sorry, my head and not my heart.
See, that's where you draw the line, yeah?
I know, yeah.
So
I don't want to be caught on camera being a mug.
Make jokes about all sorts of things, which I won't go into. But predictions is where you draw the line.
Oh, I draw a line at being flippant about predictions. So, I just, Barney said it, I just think I can't see where we score a lot of goals at the moment and not knowing whether Calvert-Lewin's going to start. Okafor, is he fit? I don't know what's going. James hasn't started firing yet. It seems to be that Bogle and Nonto are probably our two greatest threats. But then if they put the ball in the box, who's putting it in the back of the net? So it is a problem. I've got to say that I just can't see us winning the game, and I don't think we score enough goals to even get a draw. So, and you know that Muniz is going to have a game of his life, and probably Harry Wilson scores. Sadly, I think we get beat, and I think I'm being optimistic here. We get beat 2-1.
Yeah, I think probably.
Sorry, put it right down. Should we go now?
I'm just going to say that we're going to win 2-1, and I'm not going to predict us to lose any games, because if I predict us to lose and then we win, I'll feel really like I haven't backed my team.
I don't care. I'm going for reverse psychology. I dance with the devil, so I'm just thinking that if I say we're going to get beat, we might actually surprise. I might surprise. I've got nothing to lose. It's like when you put a bet on against your own team, you either win money or you're pleasantly surprised. So that I'm going down that route now.
Right. Yes. Okay, I get it. I do think Rodrigo Muniz will having rejected us all summer, score against us. A few of your comments. So that was 1-1. To Barney said 1-1, and Ewan said 2-1 to Fulham, and I said 2-1 to Leeds. And we'll get into some of your predictions then. Derek says 1-0 to Leeds. Dennis, 1997 LUFC, have to say his full name every single time. 1-0 to Leeds, and predict Dan James. Dan James is going to score. 8-Ball Ali, good to see you, Ali. I fancy a 2-1 win. Metcha to draw a penalty out of Lukic. Well, that's if his
big leap of faith.
That's if his toe is still working, because as we know from Barney, very important in football to have toes.
Well, also with toes as well, it's for balance, isn't it?
Big toe, yeah. Apparently, if you haven't got a big toe, you fall over a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, Barney. You do need toes to play football. He's right. Oh,
there you go.
Eventually, it does come round to the same old. Barney is right that you do need toes to play football.
I think you could probably you could find a way around it. You could find a workaround, as it were.
What, without a big toe?
Yeah, be challenged though. I think to compete at the elite level of football. Anyway, let's not do a
I
deep
started
dive.
thinking what you could do.
Moving on.
Let's not.
There's that guy who scores the overhead kick who's on crutches. It's like a bit of a gift that's he's got 2 crutches, and I think he's got a full foot, maybe the bottom half of his leg missing. So
Right.
Not to bolt the trend of you need toes to play football.
Is he called Bob?
Yeah. Well, what?
Is he called Bob?
Oh my god!
You definitely don't need toes to play football. Let's just make that clear. But it does help, especially at the elite level. Metcha to draw a penalty out of Lukic and DCL to score our second in the second half. Well, that is very, very specific a prediction. If that happens, I don't know, we could do something for Ali, send him something, I don't know, a badge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Top banana.
Box of Black Magic.
Yeah.
A box of... Yeah.
Delivered by the guy with the black roll neck on, on a rope through the bedroom window. Yeah.
And then the music goes... Da, 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 da.
A bottle of White Lightning.
Wasn't it? Da, 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 da.
So that's it. Yes.
Thanks, mate.
All copyright to whoever it is, Warner Music Group. Top banana.
It wasn't accurate. Don't worry about it.
3-1 to Leeds. DCL hat trick. Wow.
Love that confidence.
Wow.
Is he on glue? Is he on glue?
Are you on glue?
Derek says if we score first, I think we'll win. But if they score first, it's going to be a long day.
And that's my sort of opinion, is that if we concede first, it feels like we fall back into how we can't break teams down, and we don't have that je ne sais quoi to break.
God, what's going on here, man?
This is a catchphrase now, isn't it?
I quite like it. I just need to know how to spell it, but yeah.
No, don't worry about that. No.
You've got past the happy clapper thing. You've got past the Barney from the internet, Barney from Twitter. It's now X now. This is how old that catchphrase, the nickname / catchphrase is. So now you're on to je ne sais quoi. So you've got to what would the French version of Barney be like?
Le Barney.
Barney.
Le Barney. Or would it be La Barney? Because it's
Le Big Mac. Le Big Mac is mine. So we could do a full French theme where I'm Le Big Mac.
Right.
You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
Yeah.
Le Big Mac.
So the next pod, we all have berets, baguettes over our shoulders, little mustache, riding on a little bike.
Yeah.
And then Katie says in the background, Papa?
Yeah.
Nicole? Papa? Like that.
Burning sheep and voting for the far right. Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry, got lost. Yeah.
Oh, René! There's my impression.
I think, Barney, you should have a French phrase stroke saying every week now. You know, like I raison d'etre for existence is, or je ne sais quoi, or Monge 2 Rodney. You should definitely go down that.
Yeah, right. Joie de vivre.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Dennis, 1997 LUFC.
Like deja vu, this. I've been here before.
Saving us from insanity. I've been impressed so far by Longstaff, Dan James, and Jack Harrison, Bogle, and Goodmanson.
Take Dan James out of there, I probably agree.
Yeah, I think Longstaff was excellent against Newcastle, a little bit rusty before then. Dan James hasn't done much this season. Jack Harrison, I think buying everybody a pint helped.
Yeah. No, he was good against...
in 2 pubs.
He played well. He played well against Newcastle, to be fair.
Yeah.
ID, good on the ball, works hard, covers for his fullback. Goodmanson looks great. Bogle's probably the best player so far. But Dan James has been appalling, mate, from literally every game. I've watched him, I just think, why? You know, what's happened to that player? The thing about him is he's stepped up a massive level, and whereas, like, you know, Bogle has literally embraced it and looks great. You look at Rodon. Rodon's not looked anywhere near as comfortable as he has done in the Championship. So there is players that are going to take a while. I think James is just one of them. And worry with James is he's a bit like Aronson. He's been here before, where he's not quite made the grade at that Premier League level, and he's got a lot to prove for me as Dan James at this level, and so far, questionable.
Derek Moore, I'd be a lot more relaxed going into the game if Ampadu and Tanaka were starting. Well, they are back in training. They have been back in training. I think I'd be surprised, actually, if Ampadu didn't start.
Me too.
I think he's he's been described by Daniel Farker as my most important player.
My most important player, man. Yes, my brethren. Ampadu, my brethren.
He's called Ampadu, not Ampadon't. I am so sorry to all Caribbeans everywhere, all German people.
Yeah, everybody, all nations.
Yeah,
unite.
Yes, all 425 people on Twitter.
Wow, it's going up, man. It's definitely raining still. Yeah, it's raining still. Yeah, not on telly.
Yeah.
And also, Alex Jones doesn't look nice tonight.
Right.
In fact, I'll just check her Instagram. I'll have a look.
Don't.
See what she was wearing today.
We don't need you to, be absent from the pod for a couple of minutes. Fulham a decent.
Nice. Oh,
happy
wow.
with the.
Wow. Whew.
Don't objectify women, kids.
He's got his wife's out. His wife's out at the gym and he's fucking perving Alex Jones. Whoa.
Fulham are decent. Happy with a performance and a result.
Yep.
Derek Moore, toes are overrated. Where there's a will, there's a way. I agree, Derek. I agree. Whatever obstacles that are in your way, you just bash through them like a brick wall, like Joe Rodon does.
Or fall into them because you got no toes.
What?
You wouldn't run into the wall, would you? If you've got no toes, you'd fall into the wall.
You could run backwards into it, Barnes. Have a think. Come on, Barnes. Ingenuity.
Well, actually,
Obstacles.
apparently it's really good. It's good for your mental health and also for fitness to walk backwards.
Is it?
Apparently, yeah.
It's good for your knees. Good for your knees down and upstairs. Apparently, if you walk downstairs, walk downstairs backwards. Apparently, good for your knees. I wouldn't do it.
You fall over.
Well, that's
It's like that meme with that old woman at the bottom of the stairs like that.
What happened to him, Lloyd? He did a podcast.
There is a guy who runs around Roundy Park Lake, big lake, backwards. I'll let you digest that, and you can come back with any questions. But he literally runs, and I'm talking about 3 or 4 times around the big lake, and then down Princess Avenue towards Oakwood, backwards.
Have you ever seen anybody run backwards? Have you run backwards yourself? Is there a running backwards world championship? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, but apparently there is a reason to do it, but I've not worked out what's worth looking like a twat to do it that much. But at the end of the day, I still think I'm having a flashback every time I see him from like the 90s.
Right.
We're in a flashback. There's a guy running backwards past me. It's like, maybe I'm moving backwards or I'm not moving forwards quickly. And time's caught me up.
A lot of medication, says Top Banana. I believe this is the prize for 8 Ball Alley. A tube of Smarties would be nice, says Ali.
Cool.
Danny James not up to speed yet, says Top Banana. And Derek Moore enjoying himself. Glad to see you happy and laughing, Derek. It's good to. It's been a good show this week. It's been a funny one. But Barney's full of quotes. What we need, right, is a poster of Barney's best quotes with a get you standing on like a hill or something with an inspirational quote. Maybe holding that bit of turf that you used to have. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got in the post. Dennis 1997 LUFC. Well, I've seen determination behind Dan James against Arsenal. In my opinion, he will do well for us this season. And like I said earlier, I think he will score against Fulham. Go on, Dennis. Defend your position.
Hope so, Dennis. Yeah, I hope so, Dennis. That's what it's all about. A game of opinions.
Yep. And I have to say, I'll always have fond memories, and I'll always love Dan James after that doomed playoff final. He was the one player who looked like he wanted to put his body on the line, and he did for Leeds United, and he's got a permanent scar on his face, like Harry Potter. But if he is watching, if you are watching, Dan, you can hardly notice it, mate.
Yeah, I can see it. Good cover over. The thing about him is he's similar to Jack Harrison. I mean, he's not being a traitor and a complete Judas and a rat, but he's got that work ethic without the quality. And that's, at this level, you've kind of got two wingers that are in contention to play most weeks, who I think lack quality and decision making. I think probably, if I'm being really blunt, Jack Harrison is probably makes better decisions than James a lot of the time. With James's pace and his kind of determination and his willingness, he should get in better positions and probably should create more. And he was fantastic for, you can't criticise him over the last 2 years for Leeds in the Championship. But like I say, massive step up this. And I want to see him do it. There's nobody more wants to see him do it. I really hope he does it, because I think he's got a point to prove about the Premier League. He's never really cut the mustard at that level, and I really want him to do it. But I think if anybody can, based on his heart and his determination, he will. But it's just going to take a while, I think.
Rightio. So it was bang on. It was bang on an hour, but we've let things slip again.
We fucked it again, and we've still got my thing, which usually takes 20 minutes. So
well, get on with it then. Mac, what's your thing?
I'm not doing one.
Don't fucking say golf again.
No, not golf.
No, I'm not talking about golf. See, you do this every week. He's talked about Alex Jones 84 times. You've done your appalling Jamaican accent loads. I say nothing. I just let you get on with it. Enjoy yourself. I talk about golf once. Jesus.
Oh, dear.
Le Big Mac. I haven't really got one. My thing is, do you know what my thing is? I'm saying it to Barney before we came on air. So I always have a month off in August. I know people hate me for that, right? So I go away most of the month, and I work really hard. I've got businesses to run and so on and so on. But I'm like a feral kid. Like when you get kids who, after the 6-week summer holiday, don't want to go back to school because they've got like feral and got up every day when they wanted and had free reign. It's took me a hell of a lot of time to get back into work. So I've been back officially 2 weeks tomorrow. Well, yeah, this is my second full week back at work.
It's like I've put my glasses on.
Oh shit! Sorry, I don't know what's going on there.
My eyes are starting to hurt.
I was just wondering how strong this was.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah, so just getting back into work's been a real struggle. Like I'm so feral, and you sort of think, because you get older, you might get better at that. That transition from holiday to work, and especially when it's your own business and it matters. Nah, it never gets any easier, kids. So if anybody tells you, look, as you get older, you get responsibilities. That getting out of bed on a morning, that kind of, I used to say to my son that only mediocre people are at their best every day. And that was an excuse for my sometimes just not giving a fuck about anything to do with work. I'm quite happy doing what I do every day and just, relaxing and seeing my mates. And so it took me a while, but I'm getting there. Next week's going to be a different week. We're back on it full time. A lot of big wins as well over the summer, and we've done some amazing things. So I think I'm sort of almost like a football parlance. When you score a hat trick and you kind of switch off, and the manager brings you off because you've done it, haven't you? I'm a bit like that over the summer, where we've had some massive wins as a business and done some great things, and I'm kind of like just relaxing and enjoying that, I guess, rather than doing my job.
Okay, that's Big Mac's thing. The Big Mac.
You know what? I know. No, listen. If usually you'd be a bit worried about saying that live on air with 500 people watching, but
Yeah,
it's my business. Who's going to sack me? Fucking me.
true.
Do what the fuck I want.
True. Okay, Barnes, your thing, please.
So my thing this week, I've actually got a thing this week. So with no football this week, there's not been any podcasts to listen to. So I've been catching up with a new podcast. It's called the Chaz Podcast. And basically this guy called Chaz Palmer used to be in one of my favourite bands of all time. They were called Lightyear. And he talks about this sort of bit of a real community during the early 2000s of small, like, ska punk bands that did tours around the whole of the UK. There was some really good bands. There was Lightyear, Howard's Alias, bands like that, who like became really famous. It became really famous in this small community, and this was when there was no social media, so they used to rock up to gigs like with 10 people, and all of a sudden they were doing gigs for Steve-O. Do you remember Steve-O from Jackass?
I do now.
Yes,
for the first
Steve-O.
time,
Yes.
in this dialogue,
Yes.
I've heard of something.
I resonate with something.
So Steve-O was doing.
Steve had alcohol, wasn't he? He's a bit of an alcoholic. He
Yeah,
had a few problems.
Yeah, massively. So he did a tour around the UK, and he was at Leeds Uni, and me and my best mate used to travel like the length and breadth of the UK to go watch these bands, and it was a real like I was in my early 20s, had a job, didn't really give a fuck. We were both single. You know what the rest is. So it was like,
you're not going to come out here, right?
So like, really good times of watching these bands and like,
you know when you're watching those old movies and there's two people and they're getting it on in the room and then it pans away to the window and fades out and you don't really know what just happened.
No, but it was a really happy time of my life, though.
Yeah, sorry, we've ruined it.
Going to these gigs and like it's like listen to this podcast. It talks about some of those gigs. So there was one time when Lightyear came to Leeds, and they were at the gig. So is it the Santiago Bar?
Santiago.
Yeah. Sandinista.
San Diego Bar.
San Diego.
Yeah. So there's a bar, and they were doing it. They were
Bar Santiago or Bar Sandinista. It's probably one, not San Diego. Got to be honest, but yeah, probably Sandinista.
It's like a conversation between.
Hey, I know my language.
Two old deaf people.
It's like people with dementia having a fucking.
What do you say? What do you say, San Diego?
I'm not questioning it, but I'm a legend when it comes to Leeds bars, and I'm just thinking the Sandinista, Santiago.
It's probably that one.
Where was it?
It used to be where Heaven and Hell used to be.
Yeah, that's Santiago.
Yeah. I called it San Diego. It's where you pronounce stuff.
Well, you're fluent in French, but I'm not sure about South American yet. Yeah.
So they did this gig, and then all of a sudden the lead singer so just like do a congo. So we did a congo across the street, and then just went into this Chinese restaurant, all of us, and then came back out again.
How many is all of us?
There was about 50 or 60 people that joined in.
Oh, bloody hell.
So people just sat there eating the Chinese, and all of a sudden 50 or 60 people.
Chinese across the road.
Yeah.
The buffet one.
Yeah.
It was called Regent. I think it was called the Regent Buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Where okay. That'd have gone down well.
Yeah.
You didn't get your...
it was good times.
Your ass... bloody chop off, innit?
Wow.
Sorry. About too many accents creeping into this.
I'd like to apologise to all Chinese people.
Chop. Hurry up.
Right. So my thing... Oh, was that your thing? Have you finished?
Yeah, so it's a good podcast.
That's it. Brilliant.
After all that, yeah.
Fucking hell, Barney. Well done, mate. I love that shit.
Love it. Fantastic. So what's that podcast called?
The Chaz Podcast. So the lead singer of Lightyear was called Chaz Palmer.
Right.
He talks about the early scene of ska punk in the early 2000s.
Okay,
Really
there we
good.
go. So that's the chat.
Happy
Now,
times.
my
I could have
thing-
just said that in a nutshell, couldn't I?
Yeah, you
Really.
probably could
It
have
was
been more
far better the way he
succinct.
did it.
Yeah,
It's much
yeah.
better. Chinese fucking congas.
Chinese
Amazing.
congas. Yeah, well, there was a hint at a sort of young
changed, have they?
young Barney experimenting with his sexuality in there.
His mate, yeah,
Yeah,
on so well. It was dark. I was a bit drunk. You know.
yeah, fading off to the window.
You can touch mine, I'm not touching yours.
Wow. Wow. Okay, and my thing is the Netflix documentary Unknown Number, the high school catfish.
Oh, is it good?
So I don't know if you've seen it. In the comments, if you have seen it, don't spoil it. Just for these guys. But fantastic documentary. It starts off wackier and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And you just think like how that just this must have been just so awful. And then when you find out what happened, your mind is blown. So it's one of the best twists, I think. One of the best, and I won't say any more than that, but yeah, very, very good. Really enjoyed it. So Unknown Number. And the gist of it basically is that these two high school kids who are in a relationship in high school, they both separately start getting just the most abusive text messages, just like absolutely horrifically abusive and like really graphically sexual and detailed, and just like really inappropriate, especially considering they're just high school kids. So very good, very, very good. Highly recommend that. Netflix, yeah. Unknown Number, the high school catfish.
There's one called Sweet Bobby, which kind of it reminded me of when you were describing it.
Yeah.
Which
Sweet Bobby, great.
like
I found the podcast better, actually. I listened to the podcast for Sweet Bobby first.
Yeah.
Great investigation by Tortoise Media, and courageous of her, obviously, to come out and tell her story as well, because
it's unreal. It's unreal. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not a lover of them kind of things, but it's just the mentalness. It's a bit like this podcast, you know, how crazy it is and how the different directions it goes in, the unpredictability, you know, the volatility of it. Amazing, really good. So yeah, that's another one to watch. Yeah,
there's another good podcast actually, Fred and Rosemary West podcast, documentary on Netflix, which is, I mean, we all know the ins and outs of it, but it talks
Fred
about
West and Rosemary Westwood.
Yeah, but it talks about the families decades later and how much of effect it had on the detectives in that case as well, and even the detectives. One of the detectives is actually still speaking to one of the relatives, the sisters of one of the girls that was murdered. So it's not just about the case, but it's a bit harrowing in scenes where there's literally filming him walking around the patio. Oh yeah, just like very blasé. Yeah, just there. It's like wow. But that's a good one as well.
Yeah, it's crazy, and how they the thing that they found out in the photos.
Yeah,
very, very, very clever, wasn't it? Very, very good detective work. So yes, three good recommendations there. Sort of when we inevitably lose in London, and you're feeling a little bit down about yourself, why don't you cheer yourself up by watching a lovely little family favourite documentary about Fred and Rose West.
Some of the grimmest people you've ever fucking come across in your life. Yeah. It's still a fucking uplift on watching Leeds get beat in London, to be fair.
real heartwarming. Really lifted my mood up. They did.
I've got to finish on a high. What we're going to do? Donny, do an impression.
Well,
we bring this show to an end.
Thank you so much for watching the show. Yeah. That's just about it for now.
I should say this only once.
Until next week, like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
If you like it, tell your friends.
Und Gemma Leeds United.
And if you don't like it, you shall be shot. Papieren bitte. Achtung raus.
Apologies to all Germans. See you next week. Come on, Leeds.